Welcome to Channel C1.
Hey,
I'm Cam King.
I'm Micah Jamal.
And here we are talking to you today about some Fallout episodes 1 through 4 because we have not seen episodes 5 through 8 yet. We're still watching those. Our full-length reaction, watch-along reactions are going to go on Patreon later this evening. So check them out if you're interested in that. So far, initial thoughts on this show, sir?
I like it.
The general.
It started okay, but it's been getting better ever since then. Episode 1, I was okay on, but they had some setup moments that they did. that are now being paid off a little bit to an extent. Obviously, the entire season isn't finished for us, at least. Episode 2 is my favorite episode so far, with Maximus getting the suit masquerading as a knight, along with the meeting of all three main characters, Maximus, the Ghoul, and Lucy, in that town where they had like a shoot off of sorts. But yeah, it's very enjoyable, very action packed. They got some character development that they don't skimp out on as well. And then we cut back. The pacing is pretty good too. They cut back to the vault when they need to. There's a little bit of a mystery down there at the vault in regards to Vault 32 and what they had going on. So that's another level of intrigue there that's added. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So far, first 4 episodes, I give it probably 8 to 9 out of 10, just because episode 1 wasn't my favorite. What do you think?
8 to 9 out of 10. I would agree. It shows definitely getting around an 8 to 9 out of 10 for me. As someone that has played video games before, I really appreciate the fact that the adaptation is quite accurate. The goofy and wackiness from the games is there.
Okay.
The gore and action from the games is there. And it feels like a wasteland. It feels like a desolate place that with no hope almost. And with these crazy characters and very I don't want to call them dumb people, but there are a lot of uneducated people out there. They're very
right.
They don't know things. There's no There's no school. But I'm saying it's very that's how the game is too. A lot of the people out there, they don't really know any better about anything. Them guys sitting on the couch, they don't seem like much of a threat.
Right. They don't know.
They're just
we got
a robot.
We got these vials, and people want them, so we sell them.
Now, I don't know if the vials were in the game. I actually don't really know much about the ghouls in the game because, again, I haven't played a ton of Fallout. I've just played a little bit of the games.
What was typically the objective in the games, the main one? What were you trying to do?
Well, the type of games, you start out in the vault, and in the third game, I believe you have to leave the vault because your water chip is bad, and you need to get a new water chip for your vault.
Okay.
But your dad is also missing, I think, and you actually go searching for your dad.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
All right.
The fourth game, I don't remember why you leave the vault, and in New Vegas, I don't remember why you leave the vault either.
Okay.
With that being said, it's a RPG, so it's a role playing game, so you really are able to do whatever you want. You don't have to do the main quests. You can go and do quests with the Brotherhood of Steel. You can go and do quests with other factions that they have.
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit.
That's
When
he said that, I was like, oh, that's literally there's so many little Easter eggs for the game. Yeah, that's literally what happens though. You get sidetracked. So there's just a lot to do in the game. You get, you're free. It's an open world. It's a big old map. It's completely open to you. You can go wherever you want to. Some areas you may not want to go to yet because it's, stronger enemies and things like that.
Okay.
There are some enemies we haven't seen in the show yet that I'm wondering if we'll see. I'll look up a couple of them here. Super mutants are one of the bigger, more big enemies. A lot of the common enemies that you fight in Fallout, they're very gruesome and pretty hard sometimes to fight. So I'm curious if we will be seeing them in the show. I'd like to see a depiction of them. We've seen the feral ghouls. I don't know if we've seen the mole rats yet. We haven't seen death claws yet either. So that's a new one. That's one that was pretty popular from the show. Death claws are pretty terrifying. We've seen the rad roaches. That's definitely that's a big one right there. That's a big one right there.
But yeah, the story starts out with the main character, or one of the main characters, the ghoul, before he becomes a ghoul, and they show all the explosions, multiple atomic bombs being dropped on their town in California, I believe. And then you got people, the foreshadowing with some of the people going down to a vault and not letting other people go down to the vault. And then now it shows in the resentment that the surface dwellers have against vault dwellers when Lucy meets Ma June, and she's like, ew. What? The way she talks to her is I can't believe you're even here. Get out of my face. I don't like you. I don't fuck with you. Her, Ma June and Barb's relationship is very funny. They have a lot of funny interactions. But yeah, then we cut to Lucy. She's introducing herself. She's very nice and sweet, which is so interesting to that. how that's being corrupted a little bit now that she's been getting some life experiences on the surface.
It's also good to see that she's still trying to keep her
She's trying
integrity.
to maintain her integrity,
and things like that. So it's like, let her get a little rough around the edges, but keep her character.
Her line about the golden rule at the end of episode 4, and she gives the goal.
It was
those
a clean
vials.
delivery. Clean delivery.
It was
on
really
that. It was
nice.
cold.
It was really nice. And then she had her gun with the tank top. Now she's got her little scar and whatnot. So it's pretty cool to see. Maximus definitely started rocky.
Oh yeah, we did not like him first episode,
Yeah.
but second episode we was definitely like, okay,
he's all right. Once
when he got that armor,
he became he became so funny when he got the armor, because you know that he's not truly confident. So he feels confident. So when he says stuff, it's like, you wouldn't be saying this if you didn't have this armor.
I'm also of the opinion he definitely put that razor in the shoe.
Yeah, he
definitely
did
put that razor in
He
the shoe.
definitely did.
He definitely put that razor
He
in the
really
shoe.
ain't shit.
Now,
He's self-serving for sure.
one of the storylines that intrigues me the most actually is I just like world building a lot. I like the mystery of the Vault Tech organization and what happened in the other vaults.
Yeah.
Like what's going on there. I like that little main, and I guess that's really the main story I guess they're going for, but I'm very interested.
I feel like the dad might be evil, or
So-
he might be a little bit
Well, you don't
not so perfect.
You don't
in
know
her-
this. I don't consider this necessarily a spoiler, because if it's something that's like general knowledge of the video games, but some vaults were made to run in like experiments.
Okay.
So that's what I'm wondering, if these vaults were a set of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Other vaults in the games are not connected. They're not physically connected.
There's not a triangle.
This is very unique. Yeah, they're all isolated. There might be some vaults in the same area.
Right.
Like you get a lot of vaults in the same
But you
area,
can't just walk
but
to
you
other
can't
vaults.
walk to. Yeah, you can't go to through other vaults like that. So
Interesting.
and there have been, so just because these have nothing to do with the show. So there's a one vault that I think it's Vault 3. They actually came out when they were supposed to, and they founded a city called Vault City.
Vault City. Okay.
Yeah. So and they have like, the vaults have these things that can terraform, like make the ground safe for water or something. I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly how it works. But Vault 3.
So they kind of have a vault below. That's the foundation of the city, and they kind of come out
and make some, and they make something. Well, they make something outside of it, and they start terraforming, trying to get rid of the radiation or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but that's like their goal is to repopulate or whatever.
Yeah.
So one vault has done that, has started to do that. That vault is it's like in Northern California or something like that. Other vaults have gone like completely fucking crazy. Some vaults are actually have like cryogenic freeze people from the war, from the great, like before the bombs went off. Like people freeze themselves so they can wake up when things were, I guess, better or whatever. That's what Fallout 4 is actually. I think some of the people in your vault are like from the past or whatever.
Speaking of freezing, they had those people in those freezer aisle in that like grocery store.
That
or
was
whatever.
disgusting. Yeah,
That was wild. And they were just sitting there. I'm imagining they weren't feeding them. They just, I guess, used them for whatever organs they might need. Because he had all those fingers just sitting in there unorganized. in the drawer.
that was so.
And he gave them
the
to-
fact that he put some dead random motherfucker's finger on her finger and was
She's
just
like, thanks.
cool.
She's like, are you going to use me as a sex slave? No.
No,
you
that's
nasty.
horrible.
You
Yeah.
nasty. You a freak.
I'm just gonna harvest your
You're
organs.
a freak. You think we would use you as a
You know,
sex slave?
that's something I really like about this show, is that the side characters are all written really well. They're all very interesting. They have quirky personalities,
Yeah,
right?
they're funny.
Like you had the guy that she came up with that was like, "You want to stay here on my farm?
Oh,
Marry
right,
me?
yeah.
You can have all
Her-
this."
Yeah, her interactions with the side characters are pretty funny.
And even like, so the robot was cool, and even the guys on the couch, it's just like they just
Yeah,
have,
they're
even though they
funny.
don't really have any character to them, they have a little bit of depth that makes it interesting.
They're just there for the main character to play off of. They actually have their own intrigue.
Yeah,
and
it feels like it's an
personality.
actual world and not just set up for
Right,
the
they're not
character,
just, yeah, exactly, yeah. It was interesting to see the almost sex scene between her old friend and her old pregnant friend, and he thought that she was getting wet, but she was, her water
His
just
water
broke.
was breaking. Yeah,
And R.I.P. Bert, I guess.
the vault people are so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird. So fucking weird.
Her brother's. At first, I thought her brother was a weirdo in the vault.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he's
no,
the
he's
normal
actually
one.
the most normal one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the normal one. He was just being a normal brat brother, but he actually makes sense with his actions and whatnot and the things that he says. Now, the Afro lady, who I'm thinking she was going to be crazy at first, the way she was acting, but now she actually got some sense.
Yeah.
And like, there's reason why she does everything she does. The other two people, those two dudes, the one with the neck bracelet,
They're just power hungry.
Yeah, they just want to. Both of them want to be the leader, and they're trying to be nice about it.
I was admiring your poster.
Yeah, your posters.
I like your poster as well.
What, bro? Just want to have a. I guess they're doing a vote right now. Are they planning to do a vote, or are they just trying to influence everyone's decision? To like,
yeah, to try.
Yeah,
they're vying for power for sure.
yeah. But they're kind. I mean, they mean well in a way because they're trying to keep people alive. They don't want to kill the people who attack them. So it's like, yeah, but it also feels like they're only doing that. It's still self-serving. Like they're only doing it to project like a certain level of empathy when they really don't care that much. They just, that's just what they're used to, and they don't have the guts or gall to kill somebody, like physically. So
That's one of my favorite words.
Gall?
Gall. Yeah.
gall is a good
Gall
one.
and audacity.
And the ghoul.
Yeah. The
But-
ghoul had the gall.
Unmitigated gall. But yeah, the ghoul is definitely, I mean, he was my like clear cut favorite at first, but I don't know, I'm starting to like Lucy
Yeah,
a
I
lot
was gonna say
more.
Lucy's building up on me.
Yeah, Lucy a lot more, as well as Maximus. We didn't get any of them in episode 4, so we'll probably get some of them in episode 5. But his relationship and the dynamic with his old bully is going to be interesting because of the change in power dynamic, the power relationship.
Yeah, this
there.
at some point he's got to come out of that suit, and
Yeah.
he's gonna find out, and then something's
So,
gonna happen. But he
hey,
might trust him at some point. The bully, might be
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh, we've saved each other,
Yeah.
kind of there for each other. I'll keep your
Also,
secret.
if he just takes off the mask, he can reveal himself while still maintaining like, you know, that level of power. Like he can't just attack him. Like if the old bully was to get mad or something and be like, hey, you're impersonating Titus, you probably killed him, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, I did. Now what are you gonna do? He could snitch, run away and snitch, and then they probably bring somebody else in a night suit to attack him.
What I also like about the show, there's a lot of practical effects.
Oh,
and
yeah.
practical uses. The armor on
The armor looks cool.
on the Steel of Brotherhood of Steel is practical. You can tell a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of props and you can just tell it looks real, looks authentic. Of course, there's some CGI for the creatures and stuff, but for the creatures that aren't, like the ghouls, definitely look more practical. Probably touched up, I'm sure, but the show looks really good. It's shot well. It's got some nice shots. A little bit of glare in there, not too much. Not turning into J.J. Abrams, at least.
I was interested in the Wilzig character and why he chose to tell Lucy, hey, just cut off my head. That's all you need to take to them. Because why would he want to help? He feels like, I guess whatever he has in his neck is the important thing, and he thinks it could help humanity. So I guess since he knows he's gonna die, he needs to give it to somebody, so that way it could potentially, I guess, help the world. That was crazy when they threw that puppy in the incinerator. So casually.
Yeah, no, that was puppies under 10 ounces get incinerated. What?
Oh, that makes sense. Them weak ass puppies. But yeah, his dog is still alive, so that's cool. CX404.
Didn't see him in the last episode. Yeah.
Call him Wilzig Jr. Nah, that's not a good one. Maybe just Junior. I'm gonna call him Junior. But
Call him Junior.
yeah. Who else did we meet in this episode? We met the robot was funny for sure. As well as the two dudes in the shopping mall. I was thinking Martha might be, I didn't know her mom's name at first, so I was like, maybe this is like her mom. And like she gives her a vial and then she starts turning back into a regular
If
person.
they picked Martha as her mom's name,
Right.
mm-mm.
But Rose McClane, I believe, is her mom's name. And
Is her mom alive still? Maybe her
Yeah.
mom's not dead.
right. That's gonna be interesting to see. Rose McClane, either the mom or the dad, one of them got some evil in them, or they were like
Typically,
they
the
teamed up.
overseer in the vault knows what's going on.
outside, like he knows
Like,
exactly.
He knows what's going on. Not necessarily outside, but he knows if they're running like an experiment or like
Right.
what's going on with some of the other vaults or if he's in communication with somebody else. So they typically, so he definitely, because that's what, the reason why I brought up the experiment thing too. I remember you asked, was it Moldaver? I can't remember her name.
Moldaver. I don't know how they pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled.
Why did she ask him, her or them, and then spared both basically?
Yeah, that's
because
still,
she was experimenting on him. She was testing him, like she was seeing what he would do, and that's
Right.
what they do in experiments in the vaults. They will they do situations like that essentially where
put you in an awkward position.
and that's what I'm wondering if something happened like that in Vault 32 where they did some weird experiment and it had some psychological fuckery with them and they just went and killed each other because that was weird. They were killing each other and killing themselves, like in Vault 32. Like you saw them strangling each other, but you also saw the toaster and then people hanging themselves.
Oh yeah, they did have a lot of suicide going on in the Vault 32.
And then we know the truth. So I'm very curious about that.
Interesting. Found out that Cecil, the voice of Cecil from Invincible, is Walton Goggins, also known as the Ghoul. It's gonna be interesting to see if he encounters Lucy again, how he's gonna treat her, knowing that she basically saved his life. So, Frances Turner is the woman who plays his wife back in the day. Also, we don't know what happened to his wife and daughter. I imagine that they both dead at this point, but how did they die? Did they also, maybe they also started to turn into ghouls and he was the only one able to survive it, the situation, and keep getting vials. Or maybe they turned first before any of them got vials and he didn't have access to a vial until like maybe a little bit after they had already died, and then he was able to, overcome it. That was interesting. So he was just sitting in the grave, sleeping or whatever, dormant, with that fluid pumping in there. Did he ever come out like casual, like every now and then, or he just
looked like
stayed
he was
there?
locked up a little bit though.
Yeah.
And
So,
I remember
like,
them saying that someone had him locked up or was taking care of him or something like that.
right.
So yeah, and that fluid was just keeping him sane. So maybe the guy that was locking him up was using him for like missions and bounties or things like
Right,
that.
or something. Huh.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And they-
Clearly, the ghouls live longer than most people because he's been alive since.
Oh wow. 219 years at minimum. So probably almost like 250 years he's been alive.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Based on what I know of the games and what's happened in the show so far. Walter Goggins' character, the Ghoul, I forget his actual character's name before he becomes Ghoul. I'm wondering if he tried to, when he was on his horse, maybe he tried to go to one of those vaults.
Okay.
And they let him in, but they were running some kind of like sick experiment on him, and they actually turned him into a ghoul or something. Like
he was one of the first ghouls.
right, and he survived that, and his daughter probably died somewhere along the process, and then he probably escaped the vault and left it, and didn't want to have anything to do with it because he clearly has something to do with the vault tech stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
And he sounded like he knew the name McLean.
Yeah, McLean. Yeah,
McLean.
Every time she mentions her name, like people who hear it are like, they like their ears perk up a little bit.
Maybe their mom's alive and has been roaming the wasteland.
Yeah, causing havoc or
Yeah.
Being a savior of some sort.
Do you have any theories?
I think the dad might be evil, and maybe they might find out that Moldaver is secretly trying to help the situation in her own way. That's obviously not, because they saying they attacked 32, but they saying Vault 32 they weren't innocent. So she might be not so bad, and you find out that the dad is secretly evil. But then, how evil is the mom? Is the mom also evil? Also, I predict that definitely Maximus and Lucy probably end up kissing of some sort. But you know what? He's gonna want to take off his mask to have sex with Lucy, and that's gonna reveal that he is not Knight Titus, Lord Knight Titus.
He's just gonna clean this.
Clean this. No, he's just gonna take out that part. Clean this, and then
No. This.
yeah, clean it. But yeah, very, very entertaining so far. As far as shows we've watched, it's hard to rank it amongst the shows we watched because they're so. The style of this show is so different.
It's not complete yet. Shows,
Yeah.
The ending's gonna really justify what shows I've watched.
Yeah.
For me, it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near top 5. But it's definitely
Just all time. I was thinking of
shows,
even just that we reacted to.
Yeah, not more than we just reacted to. Well, reacted to. I guess it could break top 5 because we've reacted to some bad shows. or shows that just aren't.
I would put it right now above both Loki seasons, based on the first 4 episodes. I would say it's better. At the very least, I would say it's better than the first 4
Yeah, I
episodes
just
of
have a
Loki
bias
season
because
2.
I like Loki a lot,
Right, yeah.
and I like the character of Loki a lot.
The character of Loki
and
is-
and there were some other characters in the shows that are really well. But I'm going to agree with you just because at least Amazon isn't putting their episodes at 30 fucking minutes and having 6 episode seasons.
Oh yeah, that's
right?
crazy.
Now, if I had a Loki show with full 8 episode, 1 hour long episodes, 45-minute episodes each, season, I
Okay.
feel like that show would be better. But that's not what we have, so I could probably put this above Loki. I just don't want to because I like the character Loki.
I would say
But I would say it's a better show.
it's on par in terms of my perception of it with Invincible. Now, we didn't love the Invincible finale, but
But we
overall,
love Invincible.
we like
We love
Invincible, the
yeah.
show.
Oh, we didn't hate the finale, so it's not like it
Because
was.
I have Andor, House of Dragon, and even The Last of Us up here.
Andor, House of Dragon, Last of Us up here.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is its own category because of the ending. It
Yeah,
just
it ended. It was wonderful, and then it ended kind of
doesn't.
crazy.
It doesn't go on our tier list.
But,
It doesn't.
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
just
rank
separate.
for me at least. It doesn't. I can't.
Because it's so great and so
Bad.
It's
so
hard to really
great,
just-
so bad. It's too.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, we have to chunk it off by seasons.
Yeah, but
So-
okay. So House of Dragon, Andor, Last of Us up here, Invincible, Fallout right here. We're currently watching Death Note, which we haven't released a reaction to yet, but I will put even Death Note currently up there with House of Dragon.
Death Note
it's a
for
different
me,
style of
obviously
show.
it's anime,
completely.
but
It's
Death
anime.
Note for me is definitely up there.
Yeah.
With House of the Dragon, Andor and stuff. It's very intriguing.
And the concept of Death Note, there's so many opportunities for twists and turns.
We're also
and
watching
it's
The Boys, but I'm gonna put The Boys in that Invincible category.
Yeah, and yeah, we've already seen one season fully of The Boys.
I will say I'm enjoying Fallout more than I'm enjoying The
Yeah,
Boys right
it's
now
more
because there's
exciting.
more. It's making me think a little bit.
Yeah.
But The Boys is cool, but there's nothing in The Boys where I'm like, what's the mystery?
Right,
Like it's very
yeah.
clear
It's
that
it's
show is about some
immediate.
superheroes and
It's
a
immediate.
drug that makes superheroes and their problems.
And there's a little bit with The Boys. They have some very shocking and entertainment moments, but there's some
Their lulls are a little too
their
low.
lulls are too lowly. It's and sometimes last too long without certain characters. There are certain characters who are like, rockets. Every time they're on screen, they're amazing. They're like the Ghoul in Fallout. Every time they show up, Homelander, Butcher, you're like, oh wow, one of my favorite characters is on screen, and they take over the scene. But
I was saying Fallout, they kind of all share. Yes, the Ghoul kind of takes over a little bit, but Maximus in the suit was holding his own.
And Lucy
still,
is her
okie dokie.
Yes, her brightness, her her cheerful nature is so contrast. Like it's so in contrast to the world that she's living in. It's so interesting to watch sometimes. What is she gonna say? Is she finally gonna fold and be like a little bit more hardened with her response, or is she still gonna try to maintain the sweet nature and be kind? Like it's always slowly but surely she's starting to be a little bit more fierce when she snaps on people. But it's almost like how, in a way, remember, like they hint at someone potentially going mad. Like I don't think she's gonna go mad. I don't think it's that type of show where the main character kind of just turns evil. But like in the beginning of Game of Thrones, Daenerys was kind of nice and sweet, but she had those moments where she have to defend herself, and then she goes, I don't want to say overboard, but she's like, like she defends herself from her brother Viserys, and then says, "You will not lay a finger on me ever again."
Yeah.
And fire cannot kill a dragon. He
Yep,
was no dragon.
Very
Like, she could have
dramatic.
just watched him die and been a little bit hurt, but she wasn't hurt at
Lucy
all.
is definitely
Yeah.
like she's just using what she needs to survive. She's
Right,
not
she's
necessarily
doing what she must.
still saying true to her integrity.
But she has those moments, even in the first episode, where she had to defend herself. She was not afraid to kill that dude who was trying to kill her. Her self defense. She immediately took it out and had that broken
right.
Like,
and then
what
when
is
she
it?
the broken
She-
glass.
Yeah.
And when she did have to defend herself, she
Yeah.
didn't freak out and cry like a baby.
Right. Yeah.
Mark.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, there was something else I'm gonna say about The Boys, to where the concept of it isn't. For instance, it's similar to how my view on like zombie shows. Not The Last of Us. The Last of Us is different. But like zombie shows where they're just a bunch of zombies running around, there's certain things that the characters do that has to keep the story going. Like they have to make certain decisions.
Right.
It's
right.
like they have to do kind of dumb stuff, especially in the beginning for the zombie outbreak to even occur. That's like, okay, it's hard for me to stay interested. And now after rewatching The Boys, because I had already seen it, he hasn't seen all of it. So there's certain things I'm noticing like, damn, I feel like these characters could have solved this portion of the story already, or this character could have already just killed this character. But there's certain little things that character is clinging on to that's holding them back, and as well as the writers are clinging on to, like, oh well, he can't kill them because of this, she can't kill them because of
I
this.
feel like the character development in The Boys is a bit slow for me.
Yeah,
like some of the main characters, I'm just like,
Huey
okay,
is taking a minute to start to like.
Come on,
Like,
and
come on, bro.
And I think I'm really enjoying the pace of Fallout for that reason.
Yeah.
Is each episode you're getting moments that define their character and make them grow
A little
or
bit,
have them
yes.
make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's just enough. It's not something dramatic and drastic, but it's enough.
Right.
And then Fallout is doing, I don't know who did the flashbacks for Boba Fett, but so many shows are doing flashbacks way better than Boba Fett now.
Right.
Fallout is killing the flashbacks
Yeah.
for me. They're perfectly timed, just enough. Just literally, this is what happens. Look at this, and now you see the character now.
Yeah, and then you can see the through line, like the parallels or whatever it may be, the payoff, the setup, the callback.
Exactly.
With certain what's the juxtapositions or whatever word you want to use with how they acted before, how they act now.
Yes.
Like with the ghoul, not when he was a human, not wanting to kill in a movie, and now being like a cold blood killer and using someone to sail off so he can survive, and then killing someone and then eating them and having some ass jerky, as he called it. Like, it's just done really well. I really do enjoy it, especially episode 2, man. That was crazy scenes with the slow mo with the bullets, and then episode 3 with the gupper.
Yeah.
Very
every
exciting
the action's good. The action is good. The action is good. I wonder if I can look up some credits here and see who the cinematographer is.
Jonathan Nolan has 3 episodes.
It's the first 3.
Okay,
But episode 4 is pretty
yeah,
good.
it maintained.
So whoever directed episode 4, which if this goes in order, that might be Claire Kilner.
But yeah, it was pretty good. Interesting that Jonathan Nolan is not in any of the writing credits. So,
well, he's the showrunner, so I don't know if he gets writing credits as well for being the showrunner.
Oh, okay.
Because these are called, I'm not sure if he gets. I was just trying to see what this guy's known for. I don't really know him for much, to be honest.
Who? Chaz Hawkins.
Chaz Hawkins, yeah. He was like the series writer, executive story editor. But he looks like he's done some camera work too. Let's see.
Moises Arias. That's the guy who was in Hannah Montana. I never thought I'd see him ever again. Zach Cherry was in Shang-Chi on the bus filming.
Yeah, I don't know any of his movies, but he's not a main actor. He's like a B-lister.
As they say.
Good
Annabelle O'Hagan is Queen Maeve. Her character in here versus how she is in The Boys is so
honestly
interesting.
These actors are really good because the actress that plays, Lucy, Ella Purnell,
right?
I don't hear Jinx.
Right, you don't hear.
I don't hear Jinx at all.
Yeah,
and I'm like, are you sure she voiced Jinx?
Right,
I don't hear it at all.
I remember her face only because I watched like an interview with her in Haley Seinfeld when they were talking about Arcane and whatnot. So, and I was just thinking, damn, is she just a not serial, but a career voice actor? She seems kind of young. And I'm thinking, oh, she must just be a voice actor, and she's gonna do that for the rest of her career mainly. So to see her finally be like a star of a show, and a show that's pretty good, like if they could do multiple seasons, it'd be interesting to see how her career unfolds if she starts getting more movie roles and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Because Haley Steinfeld, she has Vi from Arcane, but also she's Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Verse.
She's very versatile.
So
love her. She's one of my favorites.
Because I never hear Vi or think of Vi when I'm listening to Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, no, you do not. It's just and there are some voice actors that their
voice is so unique.
And for some, it's not a bad thing. Like the guy that plays Jonah Jameson.
Yes. J.K. Simmons.
Yes, J.K. Simmons. Him I hear that everywhere, but his
Omni-Man.
voice is so good. Like, well, his Omni-Man's actually kind of different
Yeah,
than his other voice acting
you
roles.
don't actually.
You
I don't think of him when I hear Omni-Man, but for the most part, when you hear, or the guy who voices like Kronk in fucking Emperor's New Groove. He's in other stuff he's in live action stuff too, but
Patrick Warburton. He's in a lot of things.
He's in so many things. He has one of those signature voices as well. Oh, he's also in the wheelchair, Jim, the officer in Family Guy.
Yeah, he likes to do some comedies too.
Yeah, he does a lot of comedic stuff.
He does a lot.
But now I'm questioning what Annabelle O'Hagan's actual hair color is, because it's red in The Boys and blonde in Fallout. Actually looks like. But
so one of their cinematographers is Stuart Dryber. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. He has won an Oscar before and has had 11 nominations in total. Or he's nominated for an Oscar, 10 wins of some other award, and 11 nominations in total. I don't know his credits that well though. I have not seen a lot of these movies.
yeah, I don't know
In fact,
any of those.
I don't think I've seen any of these.
I've heard of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but I've never seen it.
But he does a good job. He's definitely won some awards for it. Damn, there's a lot of makeup people on this.
Yeah, they got. Now that I think about it, they got a lot of
makeup to do
as far as the ghouls and whatnot.
So many people in making movies and shows.
The employees. You are now one of my elite employees.
The production designer is Howard Cummings, who also worked on Westworld. Who's also on Westworld was Jonathan Nolan. He was also the art director for I Am Legend. But yeah, Westworld is actually a show we haven't seen. I've heard good things about, and we may be something we visit in the past to react to when we have the moment in time.
In the future,
yeah, past things to visit. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Y'all got the vibe. You get the vibe.
I got it to an extent.
You get the vibe.
I recognize her dad too, but I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, let me go back to him. See, pull up
Mr. McClane
movies.
Overseer Benjamin.
Careful, don't read the character names. We might get spoilers.
Oh.
Kyle MacLachlan, is that him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Twin Peaks, Portlandia, Blue Velvet, Dune.
The original. He's Paul Atreides in the original Dune.
Oh, I do remember recognizing his face.
That's funny, yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen like little
Speaking
clips.
of Dune, we have watched part 1, and that reaction will be coming out the day that part 2 releases on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So be on the lookout for that.
How I Met Your Mother. He's in that.
Oh, that's where I know. Oh, no, it's only 2 episodes. What is it?
He just got a recognizable face, because I don't recognize any of these.
Yeah, I've never really seen much of these. I'll probably recognize his voice from some of these voice actors.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not all of it, but I've seen
13 episodes. So it might be.
I've seen some episodes, so I feel like that's may be how I've seen them.
7 episodes of How I Met Your Mother. I might have seen them there as well. Desperate Housewives, 96 episodes.
Law and Order. So I've probably seen a couple episodes, episodes of
There's
Law
only-
and Order when I was a
Only
kid.
2 episodes of that though.
Okay. I've seen some episodes of Sex and the City when I was young.
Yeah, he's just recognizable, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, he probably played. Did he play? No, he didn't. Did he play in Flintstones like one of the main characters? I know he didn't play Fred, but I feel like that may have been maybe live action Flintstones movie. I may have also seen
Cliff
him in there.
Mandercave. I don't know which character that is.
But yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty good show in my estimation. It's gonna be
That's pretty
interesting to
solid so
see
far.
how it ends. It's starting strong, it's decent, and it's like really like humming right now, I think. Also the Aaron Clifton, the guy who plays Maximus, I recognize him, but maybe it's just because he looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. Cause I don't recognize
NCIS.
Maybe.
I don't know how long he's been on. It says since 2003.
But yeah, maybe it's just because he looked like Cuban Gooding. That got to be what it is.
So many movies I have not seen.
But yeah,
It was good. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll continue to watch it again. Our full-length reactions will go up later within the next 24 hours for episodes 3 and 4.
will.
We'll be watching the rest of the episodes this week and have those up as well. Dune hopefully releasing this week as well. We'll be releasing our Game of Thrones episodes on Saturdays. So the last 2 next Saturday and the Saturday after.
Okay.
To look forward for that. And then we'll probably do a live stream after the last one to really wrap up that Game of Thrones stuff and hopefully move on.
Right.
Because, yeah. But thank you for those that were lurking, those that were watching, and those that watch it afterwards. Take
Bye.
care. We out.
Thank you.